What's up, everybody? I'm meteorologist Andrea Myers, bringing you guys your daily hail forecasts, sponsored as always by C3 Group, Merlin Law Group, American Contractor, and Atlas. They are linked in the description to this video, so go ahead and check them out there. So we do have some big time storms possible today with actual hail and wind in the forecast. We actually are getting some severe thunderstorm warnings popping up on the side of our screen now, so you can see when those go off. But yeah, Chicago, KC, Detroit, Amarillo, Moore, St. Louis, lots of cities. Oh, someone's saying no sound. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. I think I have sound, so if you guys can hear, just give a thumbs up or a thumbs down in the comments. But I'm just going to keep going for now. We got a lot of cities in the risk, so if you guys are in one of the aforementioned cities on here, stay tuned and we'll get into your forecast. Then we have that low pressure system that's causing everything today, shifting on east into New England for tomorrow. So we're going to be watching that to see what that can bring, talking about that in a few moments. And then the tropics are waking up too. We've got a lot to talk about today, guys. We've got multiple invest areas to discuss. One in particular looks a little bit iffy, so we're going to be taking a look at all of that here in a second. But before we get into our weather, going into our upcoming events, we got the OU versus UTEP tailgate coming up this Saturday. So if you guys are excited about college football season starting up, or if you like OU, or if you want to just say hello to Hail Trace, get some free food, free beer, you guys can come visit us at the OU versus UTEP tailgate. Sounds like, okay, sound is good, so that's good to know. Thanks, guys. But yes, come see us at the OU versus UTEP tailgate this Saturday. Kickoff is at 2:30, and I believe we're starting the tailgate at 11:30. So come see us there for all of that good fun. And then afterwards, we're going to be at the RCAT MRCA Roofing Conference on September 27th through the 29th. So come check us out there in Fort Worth at the Fort Worth Convention Center. Then moving into yesterday, before we get into everything for the coming days, it was, again, very scattered. I mean, we have a lot of sub-severe reports on our map here, but in terms of actual severe weather, not a ton. Oklahoma City got a ton of rain yesterday with that system that's been setting up over Oklahoma, getting ready to track southward into Texas later. But we did get some gusty wind reports out of that, and then up into the Midwest, got, again, scattered sub-severe reports through the area, but we did get a couple of severe hailstones or two tracking through the area. So then for our storm system today, moving into tomorrow, this is what it looks like right now. We've got these severe thunderstorms popping up already through the Chicago area, Chicagoland, northern Illinois. We've got a band that's producing some severe weather tracking through right now, and all of that is from this low pressure system. As that continues to sink off to the east, we've had a little bit of time with that ridging pattern to build that instability back up through the Midwest and through the South Central Plains. And then this guy is going to have this cold front swinging all the way from Chicago down into Texas. With that cold front intersecting with all that instability out ahead of it, we're pretty likely to get some severe storms along that in the coming hours. As that continues to shift off into the east tomorrow, should make its way into New England, and as it does, we'll get another round of severe storms for you guys in the northeast for tomorrow afternoon and evening. Then it's going to make its way off the coast. We'll get another ridge, another period of time to build back that instability once again. And then we're watching this guy to see what that does as it swings through into the weekend. So Labor Day weekend could be interesting, and we'll keep you filled in on all that. But right now, there is our severe thunderstorm watch through northern Illinois. We do have a few severe thunderstorm warnings tracking into the Chicagoland area with this band of storms tracking through. So if you guys are in Chicago, you're already seeing some severe weather popping up this morning, should continue through this afternoon and evening, really ramping up later on this evening with this low pressure system and cold front swinging through the area. Now down in Oklahoma and Texas, got a couple severe warnings through there too. As this cold front swings again through this area, it's a long cold front tracking through the southern plains, we're going to continue to see severe weather kind of slowly develop along it, and we're going to see long periods of rain, some thunder and lightning, and then possibly some severe wind gusts here and there tracking through the area with these severe storms. So here's what that cold front looks like here on our temperature map. Right now, we are in the mid-90s across most of the South Central Plains, and then up into the mid-80s and low 90s through the Midwest. Now that's pretty warm, pretty humid through the area, so you guys know what that does to our instability, and we'll show that map in a second here. But as this cold front tracks through, we're going to see that cold, dry air intersecting with all that, and by 6 p.m. today, that's when it should be tracking through the Chicagoland area. And as it does, we'll see more storms developing ahead of it by this evening. Now, it's going to continue to track down to the south and east through the overnight hours, and there it goes for you guys in New England by tomorrow afternoon, getting ready for a second round of activity. So there's that instability ahead of that cold front. Now, by 1 p.m., so in an hour or so here, we'll see more storms developing through the Missouri and southern Illinois corridor. That'll help kind of linger, and that'll help reduce our CAPE values through the area for the next couple hours, but we will get some residual instability remaining through Chicago, through northern Illinois, through KC, and then down into Kansas and Oklahoma. Now, with this corridor here by around 4 p.m., by around storm initiation, that's moderate to high values. That's pretty good looking in terms of instability, and then once those storms move through, it'll back off. But we do have a lot of updraft potential with those storms to possibly produce some hail, possibly some rotation as well, particularly through northern Illinois. Here we go by 4 p.m. with those moderate, significant hail model values, again, all the way from Chicago down through eastern Kansas. Now again, this factors in those upper air temperatures that are cooler, and it factors in those updrafts. So this just means that we could get some severe hail, possibly some areas of larger severe hail through Missouri, through the southeastern part of Iowa, and up into Illinois this afternoon into this evening. And then again, as that CAPE goes down, as nightfall happens, we're going to see that diminish, but we do have initially a chance for that larger hail. So here we are right now. As those storms move through, they're already a little more aggressive through northern Illinois, and that could factor in as well to some of the placement of where those storms fall. With those initial storms cooling the atmosphere through northern Illinois, that could hurt the chances through central Illinois, but it could help us out down to the south as we get more of a backed up cold front with that additional cooler air from those rain-cooled storms. So here's what I'm really watching here for larger hail. By 5 p.m., we're starting to see flickers of these isolated cells forming again through Missouri, Iowa, and this Illinois corridor here. With these, we could potentially see some large hail with those updraft values and with that significant hail model. Now, as it continues to track down to the south and east, it pretty quickly lines up. So once again, this is going to be a quick turnaround from a hail to a wind threat as we track through Chicago. But by 7 p.m., that's when it looks like there's going to be a pretty strong band of storms tracking all the way from central Michigan down into central Missouri. It's going to continue to intensify through the area. This band of storms is going to continue to spread out to the south and west. So Kansas, you guys could start getting some storms by later this afternoon and evening, and then all the way down into Texas. Very scattered storms through Texas and New Mexico, but storms nonetheless ahead of this cold front and in that unstable environment, so a severe chance for you guys down there with those. And then it's going to continue off to the south and east, kind of fizzling out through the overnight hours. Still some loud thunderstorms possible for a lot of you guys up in the Ohio Valley, but our severe chance is going to take quite a hit as the sun goes down. But again, we're watching a second round possible through New England for tomorrow. So for today, putting out a red swath, putting it out through that area of initial storm development where we have our best instability, okay? Again, it's going to be a very quick turnaround, so leaving most of you guys on the low end chances of seeing severe hail tonight. Kansas City and Chicago, moderate. You guys are in an area, again, of very high instability where those storms are developing. Chicago particularly, you guys got the leading edge of that low pressure system where it's looking most robust moving through the area. So Chicago, you guys have a moderate chance of seeing some hail into tonight. But this corridor again through Missouri, Illinois, and Iowa, this is where you could possibly see some stones upward of 2 inches for a very quick period of time. The rest of us, maybe some golf balls here and there, and then quarters to $50 along that line for the rest of the risk area. So Chicago, here's your city forecast for hail. Storm timeline, now, but we get a second round moving through from 6 p.m. to around 10 p.m. That's the time it moves in to the time it moves out. Max hail size could be up to golf balls, like I said before, but the chance overall of seeing that is low. You got a moderate chance to see severe hail, but the larger hail is a low-end chance for you guys in Chicago. But nonetheless, you got a wind risk and you got a hail risk. We're going to talk about the wind risk here in a second. So for you guys all the way from Michigan now down into Texas, much larger swath here in terms of damaging winds possible. If you guys are in Amarillo, Oklahoma City, Tulsa, all the way up into St. Louis, got a chance of seeing some damaging winds into tonight, upwards of 60 miles per hour. It's going to be more scattered the more south and west we go. But once you get upwards into St. Louis, and Detroit, the corridor between these two cities is going to again see a more developed and organized band of storms tracking southeastward through it. So we got a chance for maybe some spin-up storms along that line, and we got a chance for some gusty winds. Chicago, again, in particular, want to be on the lookout for that wind threat specifically, as well as possibly some larger hail. So this is the most at-risk cities for wind into this afternoon and evening. Chicago and Davenport, you guys are probably the pick cities for today to see a 60-mile-an-hour plus wind gust into this afternoon. Then Peoria and Detroit, Michigan, you're a little bit more on the outskirts of where that band tracks through. So, it has a little bit more of a chance for that intensity to die down, but still got a moderate to high chance for both of you guys. Kansas City, low to moderate, and then Amarillo, low for you guys. Yeah, no hail for Austin, Texas yet today. Texas is expecting a lot of rain over the next couple of days, but I don't think that helps you in terms of hail. Sorry. But for tomorrow, if you're in New England, you got another chance for some severe weather tracking through. So here we are by noon tomorrow. Got that line already developing through the Syracuse, Buffalo, and I think it's Waterton, New York area, tracking south and eastward. So there it goes, blowing up pretty quickly by 5 p.m. Eastern time. Now we've got a pretty solid band of storms along that same cold front, tracking through all the way from central West Virginia up into eastern New York. It's going to continue off to the east. As it does, it should die down a little bit, but not before making it run at New York, at Albany, making a second go of it as it tracks towards Boston by Wednesday morning, and we'll get into all that tomorrow. But here is your wind forecast for tomorrow specifically. So if you guys are in southern Maine, all the way into West Virginia, there you go. You got a chance for some gusty winds. Charleston, Philadelphia, Pittsburgh, all the way up into Portland, Maine. You got a chance to see some winds here and there with that line of storms that's expected to track through. So stay on the lookout for that. I'm going to leave you guys with the tropics. Yeah, we have quite a few areas of invest that we're watching. A couple of them interest me, one in particular. This is one of the ones that I'm watching pretty closely, though, as it tracks towards the Yucatan and then again into the Gulf. It's starting to get into our neck of woods. So just keeping a close eye on it. 0% over the next 2 days, not really in an ideal position for it to develop anymore. But as it tracks west-northwestward up into the Gulf, that's where those better conditions are. So we got a 20% chance for it out for the next 5 days to see that potentially develop into a tropical depression or more. Then tracking off into the western Atlantic, that's when we have another wave forming off of the west coast or the west coast of Africa. Gosh, as it tracks westward towards the central Atlantic basin, that's when we'll see a better chance of it developing, but for now, still a 10% chance. Now, this is the one that I think everybody tropical has their eye on, is in the central Atlantic right now. 50% chance of development over the next 2 days, 80% chance over the next 5 days. It's not looking too organized right now. We're not seeing, that well-defined symmetrical circulation, but as it tracks again into those warmer waters, into the more favorable conditions of the western Atlantic, that's when we could start to see more development on this guy. The one right above it, tracking southwestward right now, not really making its way towards anybody, so don't really have an outlook issued for you guys for that one. But we are watching this closely, and we'll let you guys know what happens. So there's all our weather updates for today. We're going to go all live on TikTok with more, so if you guys have any questions, go follow us on TikTok and then ask them there. But if you want to follow us anywhere else, you can get us on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Hit See First on Facebook so you never miss a live video. And then if you want to get in contact with us, you can call us at 855-334-4245. You can also email us if you'd rather at info@hailtrace.com. Or check out our website, hailtrace.com, for more details. And we'll keep you updated and advised as always. But for now, I'm meteorologist Andrea Myers. Thanks for watching.